short-term pain for long-term gain, or short-term gain for long-term pain. If you do the stuff that, quote, creates pain, and some would say that's the disciplined life, or the hard stuff in life, or make the sacrifices in life. If you do that now, it's short-term, wherein you'll reap the rewards later, which is long-term gain. This is the End-to-End Podcast, the Alpha to the Omega, the beginning to the end, talking about life, motivation, entrepreneurship, drive, success, accomplishment, abundance, and offering additional morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. Glad to be back in the studio. Hope you've enjoyed all of our episodes so far. And as always, now you know, or if this is the first time you're listening, I always start my podcast with an expression of gratitude. Why? Because you cannot be fulfilled unless you are grateful for what you have. And what I am grateful for is you all out there who have supported me since day one. We're just past a year into this podcast and we've grown astronomically. So I want to thank you all for liking, commenting, subscribing, and most importantly, sharing this podcast. I like to say, if your knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. So if you found value in this podcast, or if you found value in any other podcast, please share all the shows, or share whatever shows you found value in. And also, as you know, I do this without any sponsors. So I do this on my dime, on my time. So my personal funds and time are invested in this show because I want to achieve our mission, which is to inspire billions of lives across this planet in a positive way to create positive change. And so, as such, the only way we grow the show is if you share the show. So if your knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. Great to be back. I am in the middle of Live Hard Phase 1. So for those of you who are unaware, Live Hard is an extension of the 75 Hard program. So 75 Hard, again, if you're new to this or are unaware, it's 5 elements of a challenge, of a program for 75 days, which is no booze, gallon of water, read 10 pages of a nonfiction book, work out twice a day of 45 minutes each, one of which has to be outdoors, take a selfie, and maintain a diet. So 6 things for 75 days. Once you finish that, you can move on if you choose to go into Live Hard, which is a 30-day extension, which encompasses the 6 elements of 75 Hard, and you add 10 minutes of active visualization. So for me, I'm imagining myself in a Bugatti. Hopefully I'll get one very soon. But secondly, you do a 5-minute cold plunge or cold shower a day. And then thirdly, you add more things to your power list of things to do that day. So the reason I bring this up is I'm halfway in. And when I talk to people about this part, Phase 1, they instantly cringe at the 5-minute cold shower. Oh my God, I can't do that. Must be painful, etc., etc. And it reminded me to talk about a topic, which is pain. Pain. What does pain actually mean? Okay, so I grew up with an expression of pain and gain. So in a way, you can apply it to how you live your life, right? There's an expression I grew up with in how you could live your life, or an approach to life as it relates to pain. And pain in this is like sacrifice or doing the hard things. It's short-term pain for long-term gain, or short-term gain for long-term pain. And what this essentially means is, if you do the stuff that, quote, creates pain, and some would say that's the disciplined life, or the hard stuff in life, or make the sacrifices in life. If you do that now, it's short-term, wherein you'll reap the rewards later, which is long-term gain. In the alternative, you can delay the painful stuff and do all the fun stuff now, right? But that just delays the pain later. So either way, there's going to be pain. It's whether you want to take care of it now and get it out of the way so you can gain for the long term, or you can delay it and have pain later. But the difference is that gap of pain. If you address the sacrifice now, the pain and duration is shorter. If you delay the pain till later, that duration of pain is longer. So that give you an example. Fitness is the easiest one. Most people say, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get in shape tomorrow. I'll do the gym tomorrow. I'll get started tomorrow. Right? Versus doing it now. If you do it now, what happens? You go work out, right? You go work out and you're building your health. You're building the discipline. You're building the stamina so that you can experience longer term gain later. Now, if you delay the workout or delay the fitness, what happens? You get lethargic. You gain weight. You get out of shape. Your joints start to hurt. Your diet's not right. You become lazy. Everything else about your life becomes harder. And so that pain that you're delaying for later is a more challenging pain. So how do I bring this back to 75 hard and the cold plunge? It brings the concept that I want to dig into, which is pain is just the duration of discomfort as defined. True pain is a permanent pain. You lose an arm, you lose an appendage, you're in a coma. These things are permanent points of pain. Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about discomfort as it relates to your life. Pain is transient. Okay, pain is transient. Pain only lasts a certain duration and then it's gone. So as it relates to the cold plunge, the reality is it's 30 seconds, maybe a minute tops of discomfort. And that's it. 30 seconds to a minute of discomfort, and then the 4 minutes, you're already used to it. Your body accommodates. And so what pain actually is, and let's really define it. Pain, your body, I'm trying to simplify this. Your body is constantly seeking a state of what's called homeostasis. Homeostasis meaning on balance, right? Doesn't want to be disturbed, doesn't want to be bothered until you're hungry. The reality is, you're hungry, then you go seek food. That's Mother Nature, that's in our genetics. So our body subconsciously does not want anything to move off of being in a homeostatic or on balance situation. Pain puts you off of homeostasis because either mainly because your body is trying to avoid some type of outcome. It doesn't know if it's positive or negative. It's trying to avoid an outcome, avoid being thrown off balance. A simplified example, an extreme, is a hot stove. You touch a hot stove, instant pain, right? Because your body's like, oh man, temperature's wrong. The nerve signals go to your brain, got to remove my hand from the stove. But it's not really pain in the sense of permanent pain. Even if you touch a hot stove, the pain is transient because your body renormalizes to homeostasis. Okay? Growing pains is the converse. Your body is needing to grow. It's moving out of being on balance for growth, and that's painful. Growing pains. And if you have a kid or you yourself experienced it, this lasts maybe a day, 2 days, 3 days tops. Growing pains in your knees and your hips and your joints, and then all of a sudden it's gone, but you grew. And the example there, again, is pain is transient. Only it's temporary. It's not a permanent thing. But in both extremes examples, the only way to grow in knowledge, in body, in spirit, in experience, in confidence, in discipline, to build all the characteristics of success is going to require what? Pain. It's going to require pain. That's the only way to grow. It's the only way to get stronger. Thinking about lifting weights, it's painful. I work out every day. is painful. But it only lasts for that one extra rep. You know, the first, let's say I'm going at 90% max capacity on a bench. The first 3 or 4 reps don't hurt. It's the 5th, 6th, and 7th rep that hurts. That's really painful. But that's that 6th, 7th, 8th rep is where the growth occurs. Those first 4 or 5 reps, my body's already used to that. It already knows that's homeostasis. It's on balance. It's when I'm pushing a little harder where the pain begins. But once I re-rack the weight, pain's gone. Now I'll be sore the next day, but I know that's because that's how muscles rebuild. And I get stronger. The gym is is a precise example, analogy for how this actually works. You have to put yourself through pain in order to grow. If you delay your pain, you're going to delay your growth. You have to force your mind, your body, your spirit off of homeostasis for growth in order to grow. So it really bothers me when I recommend certain things or advise people or suggest people to do certain things for their own personal growth, and they say, oh man, that's too painful, that's too hard, etc. What it basically says is you're unwilling to invest in yourself to grow. And I say that with emphasis because a way to to flip the script in order to understand pain and be able to get in the mindset of actually wanting to experience pain and not avoid it is invest. So think about the original expression. Short-term investments, long-term gains. Short-term gains, bad long-term investments. Okay? It's not a sacrifice to be disciplined. It's not a sacrifice to go exercise. It's not a sacrifice to read extra pages a day. It's not a sacrifice to go challenge yourself with a marathon or something like that. True winners know it's an investment because you are intentionally putting yourself through discomfort as an investment for growth, for gain. So ask yourself, why aren't you working out? Ask yourself, why don't you want to read the extra 1 or 2 or 10 pages a day? Why aren't you willing to go out and go for a walk? Why aren't you willing to take a cold plunge or take a cold shower? Why aren't you willing to stick to your diet? Because if you think about it as an investment, what that essentially means to me and to most winners I would expect is that you do not value yourself enough to make that investment, to go through that hardship, to go through the challenge, to go through the pain, which we all know is just temporary. The pain can last 5 seconds, it could last 5 days, but it ends. And on the other side of that pain is growth, is rehab and growth. That's what it is. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. You know, people ask me, how did you become a doctor and a lawyer and get your MBA and have a successful law firm and be an entrepreneur, et cetera, et cetera? Because I understood the concept of investing, of tolerating the pain. In college, instead of going to the fraternity parties or doing all these things, studied. That's not to say I didn't have a life. I had a great time in college. Played lacrosse, had fun, do all these things. But as a choice between 2 hours at a party or 2 hours getting my shit done, understanding that I'm missing out potentially, still got my shit done. Made the short-term investment for the long-term gain. Right? Short-term pain. Studying, kind of painful. Quiet, you got to stay focused, a lot of endurance, mental energy, boring to many of you all. But I knew in myself, I valued myself enough to know Invest these 2 hours. It's going to pay off a lot bigger later. Med school like that. I don't know what percentage is, less than 0.1% of students get in. Law school too, on top of that, and all this other stuff. Yeah. What do I have now? Multi-million-dollar house, supercar, beautiful family. Take that investment, take that time. Once you understand that, you've kind of unlocked the key of how you actually grow and get better and get more confident and level up. You have to approach your life seeking discomfort, hard, painful, because that is the only way to grow. Now, I'm not saying seek pain as in throw yourself in front of a moving vehicle. That's crazy. I'm saying as it relates to discipline, structured life, making things happen, hitting your goals, all these things. You got to go for the painful stuff. Short-term pain, long-term gain. And it stacks. And why does it stack? Because it's just like working out. I'm able to squat, 280, whatever, at 160. At a quote advanced age, so to speak. My birthday's this month, actually. But for an older, formerly athletic guy, 280. So trust me, it was a lot of pain to get up to 280. But now my threshold is 280. So if I seek discomfort again beyond that, what happens? I get stronger. Maybe my max is going to be 285, 290. Maybe I'll hit 300. But each time you hit your goal of that sacrifice of pain, or that investment actually of pain, you've leveled up. And that compounds up and up and up each time you go out and seek more discomfort. And the reality is once you get over that mental hurdle of, this hurts too bad, this is too painful, this is too much of a sacrifice. When you turn it around to an investment, it's like compounding interest. Not in your bank account, on your life. And for those of you unfamiliar with compounding interest, it's like every day you earn 1% interest, so it compounds itself. So every day you tolerate or you invest in the pain and discomfort, it compounds because it builds on itself. And the more and more and more your threshold for that discomfort goes higher, so you're able to do more and tolerate more and build even more on top of that. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy once you understand that it is not pain, it's not permanent, it's not debilitating, it's actually an investment to continue to build and stack on your life. Okay? So the takeaway here, I hope it came across. I may have to do this podcast one more time about pain. But pain and discomfort are only temporary. It's a figment of your mind, your imagination. Unless you rip a muscle or get really physically injured, it's only temporary. And even at that, it's only temporary. But let's just say pain, discomfort, it's only temporary on your body. It's only temporary in your mind. It's only temporary in your soul. But don't think about it as pain or sacrifice. Think about it as an investment. Short-term pain for long-term gain. Short-term investment for long-term return on investment. And that's how you build success. Experience the discomfort, even if it's just a little bit. Go out today and instead of taking an elevator down from your office to the parking lot, walk the stairs. Instead of parking to the nearest spot to the door, park the furthest away and walk. Oh, it's hot, it's this, that, and the other, making all these excuses in your mind. But really, you just got to take one extra step. And that's not painful at all. But it is an investment in your life. And if you truly, truly, truly value your life and value what you mean to the people around you, your family, your friends, or whoever, you would seek out discomfort because it is an investment in yourself and it is an investment in the people that rely on you or the people that you love or they love you. Okay? Seek out the pain. Seek out the discomfort. As they say, what doesn't kill you is only going to make you stronger. That is a reality. If it doesn't kill you, it's going to make you stronger. Short-term pain for long-term gain. Short-term investment for long-term return on investment. Think of it that way. This has been another episode of the End-to-End Podcast. Like I say, if your knowledge is swole on this one, please share the show. That's how we grow. If you have any questions for me for Prolific Q&A, or you just want to make a comment or statement, feel free to reach out on the comments on all of our posts on social, DM me, or alternatively, email me at askask@the2endpodcast.com. I'm your host, Dr. Young Nguyen. Looking forward to bringing you another episode very, very soon.